All right. Hello, 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 everyone. Aquarius, this is your 2021 reading. I have a strong feeling that a lot of Aquarius signs will be watching their videos. I have your astrology reading at the end of the video. I also have, where did it go? The zodiac signs and the planetary sign dice. Another way of divinating, just rolling the dice. Okay, so I like doing that one. I asked 2 different questions in that one, so we'll get to that. And then we have like angel cards or like, you know, love cards. So I'll see which one I'll pull, but we're going to do a tarot spread right here. And each spot has a meaning. So that's a great way of connecting to my guides, your guides, you know, intuitively reading. So connection to divine, all that is good. This one popped out, so here's an extra card for you, 8 of Cups. And it has to do with the eclipses, an eclipse. So, you know, it's kind of like things seem okay, but they're off. So it's just time to think and to gather. The 8 is about change. And of course the cups are about emotion. So it's really, you know, any kind of disappointment or any kind of worry that you're trying to escape from it. But you should really use that time to reflect and think about where you want to be. So that card popped out for you, Aquarius. Aquarius, you guys have the Age of Aquarius coming in. The Aquarian age. Older calendars feel like we're already in that age. And maybe 2 or 3 calendars read it differently than our Gregorian calendar. But, you know, this is the new year reading for you guys, right? So we're doing that. But there's so many celestial events coming up, right? The Age of Aquarius, right? And that's your zodiac sign. You are an air sign. And I'm taking more time with you guys because, you know, it's the Age of Aquarius, right? And as a fellow air sign, it's like I have to like give the air sign some time, right? So no favoritism, but you know, it's, you guys have a lot going on. You had Saturn, you had Jupiter first transiting on December 19th into your sign from Capricorn, because Capricorn having Sagittarius and Jupiter, we all know it was a rough 2020, even for Capricorns too, okay? And then on winter solstice, you had December 21st, you had Saturn go into your sign, and that was more of an easy vibration, an easy order. You know, you can use it in a positive way. It's just better, right? And I was able to see the middle of December on the evening walks. I could see Saturn and Jupiter and the moon, and it was just really, really nice, you know, to look up in the sky, especially 1 hour before sunset. You could see it, and then me getting up early, like sunrise, an hour before sunrise, we could see those 2 planets. It's just really cool because, you know, that hasn't happened in hundreds of years, so that was pretty cool. So the high expectations of Saturn and Jupiter for until what did I say that was 20, I don't know, it's going to be like for the next couple of hundred years in air signs, right? Where these 2 planets will merge in air signs, and this is like a new era, and the hopes that we have for it. You know, when we deal with people, I'm not that optimistic, not with a child's mind anymore, but I'm still optimistic that we can make things better. Queen of Wands, right? We can make things, even with the smallest amount of hope, maybe these cards are telling me, with the smallest amount of hope, we can make things possible, because this is a queen in a barren land, like in a desert, right? And she makes things possible. Even when you think that she can't win, you know, and the same thing with the Wands. When you bet against them, they make their way, you know. They really know how to make something out of nothing in the most, like, winning possible way. So, and Venus and Mars conjunction is going to be powerful for our self-confidence, for our love, for us standing up for ourselves, making sure that the right things are done. Saturn squares Uranus is this friction and tension. That's like the biggest concern of the astrological events this year, but we can use it to see, make sure what we don't want to happen that's negative doesn't happen, right? Uranus is about rebelling and freedom and making sure that we have room to do what we need to do. And Saturn is about structure and rules and responsibility, which is great. But if it gets out of control, it's just like the worst teacher you ever had. You know, where Jupiter is like, could be the best teacher you ever had, but how fast are you going to learn? How well are you going to learn? And everyone has a different learning style. So it's, you know, finding that balance in that squaring up, you know. These cards are like ready, right? So we all have to regroup ourselves, you know, kick ourselves out of certain groups, feel like an outcast, you know, like homeless or being out of something, you know, being on the outside and finding a new way. So, you know, these next 3 years will be finding a new way. Then the Mercury retrograde happening in your sign, that one will affect you more. That's the first one happening this year. So we'll get to that. And the eclipses, whenever they happen in an air sign or a fire sign, which it will 3 times, it will affect you the most, right? So let's set our highest intention, guys, for your reading. Let's set the highest intention, right? The highest, best intention. Take what works for you. If it doesn't, then it wasn't meant for you. I've always said that. So setting the highest intention, divine, archangels, guardian angels, spirit guides, higher self. Reading for Aquarius zodiac sign, year 2021. What does the year look like for them? What do they need to know the most? A positive guidance for them. I feel like this should be the first one. Okay, so it looks like you moving forward and creating space between anything that's negative in your life is where you need to go and what you need to focus on, Aquarius. Okay, a lot of you also, and I see it in here because it's also in your astrology, a lot of you will be traveling. Okay, a lot of you will be traveling just to get space, to be where you want to be around people that you want to be around, traveling, making plans to travel. Like I'm telling everyone, have a calendar and write down these astrological events that are happening. I'm going to be posting up a lot of them, tweeting them, Instagram, here on the community page. Check out the community page link for Lilly Sky Messages. Online, I'm Lilly Sky Messages, Lilly Sky Tarot, so definitely look it up, okay? So you can see that you will be traveling, making distance between negativity. The negativity is yourself, your own self-thought, the words that you say, and also relationships that you're in. A lot of your breakups don't have to be negative. Whatever you're separating yourself from doesn't have to be negative. You have potential. You have the power to win over whatever is negative in your life. You have to give yourself time to think so you can make the best decision, have clarity. But you know your potential and what you need to do. Your challenge is tapping into your Ace of Swords. Connecting to your own potential is what you need to do. This is you reasoning with yourself, right? The swords is about how you reason with yourself, how you sit there and you really make the best decision that you can. So what do you need to separate yourself from? Whenever you're ending something, it doesn't have to be nasty or negative. You know, not saying that you're doing that. It's just making a point that, hey, if something has to end, it has to end, and just let it go, and that's cool. No big deal, okay? What do you need to know that can ground you in this decision making and separating yourself? The biggest message this year in 2021 for you, based on the card readings and my intuition, is how you go about your relationship with yourself and others, the words that you say, how you separate yourself from things that don't work anymore. And it's really try not to make little things big things, okay? make sure that you know how to switch up when you need to switch things up. Okay. And work it out in your mind. It's kind of like you're your own therapist, but know that you have the fire within you, the will within you to really be your own authority in this. Okay. Make sure that you have a vision for yourself and really empower yourself, and like, I see myself doing this, and be positive about it. Okay. Be positive about how you're talking to yourself and having a vision for yourself where you want to go. And don't be afraid to change it up when you need to change it up. In the past, it was about your communication and about you not really seeing where you need to go. So this year, it's all about you giving yourself a vision. Write down 3 goals that you have. List them 1, 2, and 3, and write down different plans for them of how to get there. That way you have a blueprint of your year of where you want to be. Because in the past, it was about, do I do this? Do I do that? How do I feel? If there's help that you need that's professional, seek those professional help that you need, and making decisions that you need to make. It's really funny how, in the past, we're all like, when it comes to our emotion, no one that I've met has ever been perfect. No one's perfect. So people need help emotionally, physically, whatever it is that you need help with. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just about, getting that help that you need. And actually, for some of you, it's just feeling happy again, or managing what makes you sad, managing whatever it is that's your biggest problem right now, is finding how to manage it in the best way. What can give you strength? What should you keep in your mind right now? Okay. And what will help you to overcome is to put yourself on that path. It's that 3 of wands, right? In the past position. It's the King of Wands at your feet. Okay. So it's what's going to guide you, right? Ace of Pentacles is like, think that you're a winner. Think that you're on the right track. Even if things aren't perfect, you thinking, I'm on the right track, I'm making the best decision, I'm free to change up my mind when I need to, I can definitely do this. This is the right path to be on. If I find that I need to switch to this path, it's okay, right? But this year, you guys, especially if you live with someone, you're going to have like a designated time out. An hour, like, okay, I'm not talking to anyone at this hour, I just need time to myself. Or you need to have, if you're going to live with someone, you need your own space. It's got to be spacious this year. Some of you will have to travel. That's in your astrology too, and it's showing up in the sense of path in your mind. When you're on a path, you don't want it to be uncomfortable or negative. This is one of the most prosperous cards in the tarot deck. And I'm doing a series on tarot magic, or you can call it tarot affirmation, because the magic is you. The words you say to yourself can be magic, right? So we're over this kind of witch hunt thing. The tarot spells, tarot magic is a focusing tool, like your own vision board, but you can set that up on your table and say, okay, what words do I associate with this? And you take the positive from it. I'll show you. You can even use a negative card in a positive layout too. It's just how you position it. So we'll get to that. But I have to get these yearly videos done first. But you see this and you're like, my mind is that I'm a winner, or I can make it through this. There's a solution for this. So the most important card for you this year, is not just the positive card, but the positive card, we can focus on it. It could even be the 3 of swords here. We'll get to that later. So that's where your mind needs to be. Your near future, this is a great reading for you. Let me look at my chart to see what I wrote down for you guys for this year. There was a chart. Okay, it needs to be on this side as well. The chart that I had for you guys is like an 8 to 10 year, 8 to 9 year. So this year from 1 to 10, you guys have an 8 or a 9 year. And I feel like you guys can make it a 10 because you have the Magician card. And the Magician card is like when you're starting from the Fool, 0, you have a fresh slate. You know certain things. You know that you have a passion to be somewhere, but how do you get there? And that's your creator mode. And then now you're in the magician, the one, right? Numero uno, right? You are the magician, so you can make things possible for yourself. And what do you want to make possible for you? Right? That's your near future, is that you can win in the situation if you play your cards right, listen to yourself, figure out where you need to go, what you need to do, okay? Your suggestion is to know your greatness, know what you're good at, and emotionally feel that like an award. Like you just know that, hey, I'm good at this, I'm not good at this, this is what I'm good at, and know what you're good at and work those strengths. This year is not a gambling year. It's about working what you know works best for you, and going forward with that. Not putting all your eggs in one basket, but put your shiniest ones up front. Right? That's like the best example. But just know your worth and know that you're good at what you're good at and really shine that. Now, what you need to know is that there's no quick fix to anything. So don't try to quick fix anything that will self-sabotage you, that will just be a temporary fix. Just whatever you're going through, breathe through it, yell through it, not yell at others, but just kind of using sound to just kind of get it out, right? Exercise it out. Just know that, you know, you could potentially have others seeing you as being addicted to things that's not good for you. You know, so if you know it's not good for you, don't do it or don't overdo it. Find healthy ways to deal with the stresses this year, okay? And that would be great for you guys. Try not to be cocky. Watch what you say, especially in Mercury retrograde. That's happening in the beginning of the year, like January and February. I'll look at the dates later in the astrology reading. So be careful of what you're saying, because your fear could be really messing up, and watch what you say, watch your ego. You know, when this comes up, it's like fighting. Do you want to win the little fights or the whole battle? So who are you fighting against? Why are you fighting against it? You know, little petty arguments, they're not important. You know, it's more about the challenges that will come up this year. It's just mind what you say. Your two potential outcomes could be, one, not doing the right thing and breaking your own heart, breaking your relationship hearts, any kind of relationships that you have, right? Acquaintances, friends, family, lovers, you know, marriages, whatever. It's just minding your words, because out of your frustration of feeling like you need physical space, that's why some of you will travel to get space, or, you know, request a quiet time when you're home, or just, you know, closing off to yourself. It's just watching your words this year so you're not saying things that can potentially ruin relationships, okay? And you can hurting the hearts of people that look up to you. So if you're in a powerful position, or if you're a parent or someone of authority or someone that someone admires, it's just being mindful of how you're using your power, what you're doing with it. And that's going to be the main message is, you know, your words and your actions are powerful. That goes to your heart, that goes to other people's hearts. So make sure that you know that once you're still alive, there's room to make changes that will be better for you and better for anyone that's around you. So the power in this year is really the Six of Swords, moving forward, separating yourself from anything that's negative, knowing that you have that power to manifest what you want, okay? And knowing that your words are powerful, but they can also be healing. And then you're going to come out, you know, in control of yourself, but know that with this type of power that you're working this year to kind of get yourself back on track, you have to be mindful of your swords, of your daggers, of your words, okay? And just keeping yourself on the best path possible for you. So what are planets and signs that will be easy for you to work with or learn from this year? And that will be Leo, and it will be the North Node. Okay, so there's a line on here, so I'm like, which node is this? North Node. Okay, so the North Node is your Jupiter, so you can even connect a lot to Jupiter this year. This is going to be very positive for you, obviously, because it's, you know, in your sign and out, and, you know, it's just going to be a positive aspect for you to focus on this year. So definitely check the alignments of that, and I'll be posting different transitional messages and horoscopes for that. And Leo, a fire sign. So if you have a relative or a best friend that's a Leo, it's a good person to communicate with. Maybe you will even visit them this year and see them, because it's been hard in 2020. So there's a lot of communication there and good advice and just good talking and healing. But it has to be, you know, high vibrational. What signs and planets will be difficult for you to learn from, work with, but there's still something to learn. Okay, that's Cancer. Okay, so Cancer will be one of the harder ones, and I'm always getting this one wrong, and Uranus. Okay, so with Uranus, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yes, it's Uranus. Okay, so it will be a little bit harder because Uranus is the freedom, right? So maybe not liking any of the restrictions that will be happening this year and really working to move forward with that. Maybe some of the things that are freeing, you might not agree with it just because it's new to you, or you just don't, it doesn't vibe with you, you don't understand it, right? But everything and everyone has their time, right? And with Cancer, Cancer will be hard for you to understand this year because maybe they're trying to teach you a more compassionate side, or maybe they don't want to open up to you for some reason. So that will be your difficulty with that sign. But then you'd have to just try and learn the lesson from that. So let's see what angelic message we can get for you guys. Okay. Angelic message for Aquarius 2021. Love and accept yourself. Thank you, angels, for lovingly guiding me to self. Let me slow down. Thank you, angels, for lovingly guiding me to self-acceptance. Yes, accepting yourself. Self-acceptance, self-love. Okay, let's pull another one too, because I like to do that, especially if this card pops up a lot. So self-love is definitely one thing that you guys can definitely work on, and that's coming up in your let's see where the love is, in your astrology reading. Some of these astrological happenings will be strongly affecting you as well. So I'm looking at the notes for you guys here. You guys are going to be using the last quarter moon a lot and the first quarter moon. I'll talk about that. Okay, so what other air sign, what other angel card can be good for Aquarius? We have trustworthy friends. Thank you, angels, for surrounding me with people I can trust and love. And that's all about who you choose to be around this year. Make sure it's high vibrational, but also a lot of self-healing for Aquarius this year. Make sure that you're using your words in the most positive way. Most definitely working with Venus this year, working with Mars. Mostly Venus and Jupiter this year will be really powerful for you guys. I'm looking at your astrology, yes, and working with the moon. The different moon phases, okay, will be very powerful for you guys this year. So let me go into your astrological reading. So I covered some of them at the beginning. Let me see my chart, right? The eclipses. So for you guys, Uranus ruling planet is about your independence this year, and really having conflicts with, you know, anything new that might, even though Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, some of you will have a hard time adjusting, right? So when Uranus is in Taurus, you know, pretty much all year, and in the 4th house of family and friendship is and freedom in your home. So you'll want to be able to do things that you want to do, right? And this year is not a good year to really share your space. Maybe you're feeling so cooped up that you really need your own space. Okay, that's going to be important. So like I told you, time traveling and having time to yourself will be good. November and December could be really good for you. May could be really good for you. November 11th, the first quarter moon, it's switching over. What is it switching over into? Pisces, right? But you can still benefit from that moon. Also the last quarter moon on May 3rd, because May is another good month for you. You can benefit from that as well. Okay. The Mercury retrograde happening January 30th to February 20th in Aquarius, which is your sign. So that's going to be very powerful for you. Mind how you communicate. That three of swords. Mind how you communicate, especially living with people. Six of swords. It's just the people that are closest to you, and also work. Just watch how you communicate and have receipts for things. Double check, not signing contracts, agreements, less talking, observing what you say, you know, all these things. Another Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde happened 3 times in this year. May 29th to June 22nd in your sister brother air sign of Gemini. September 27th to October 18th in Libra. Okay, so slow down, think, rethink, especially when it happens in the beginning of the year in your sign. The lunar eclipses and solar eclipses is big new shifts and changes in your world and also in your life. So sudden new beginnings, new changes. The lunar eclipse May 26th in Sagittarius. If anyone in these signs are close to you, you'll get a little, you know, experience with it as well. November 19th in Taurus. Those are the 2 lunar eclipses. The solar eclipse is June 10th in Gemini and December 4th in Sagittarius. So these are big shifts and big changes that will mostly affect laws, words, you know, in law and words and, you know, rules, communication and travel. So I can't really say that. It's going to be an interesting year for travel and everything that I just said, okay? But remember that Mars and Venus is not in retrograde, so everyone should be tapping into the positive aspects of that, okay? Saturn and Uranus in Taurus, there's tension, frictions regarding our love for our freedom, the things we want to do. That's all Uranus energy. And then the traditional way of doing things and heavy restrictions of Saturn. But it should move more towards the home and moving more towards family, okay? So February 17th, June 14th, December 24th, it's about moving forward and making progress in a positive way. And this is going to be a challenge, but on these days, if everyone is really focused and stay focused, and especially working in the positive best way with their Mars and their Venus, this square will still have tension, but it won't be as bad as it could be if people are paying attention and really focused. Okay, that's the best way I can say it. It is a 5-year, so it's about our personal freedom as well, right? So that's also very powerful. It's about keeping a balance, and keeping the balance is going to really depend on this Uranus and Saturn square in Taurus, which will strongly affect what we value, the things that we want to protect, that we value, that we hold close to our hearts, our home, our family, our drawing the line, our comfort zone. It's like, okay, you're crossing my line, you know, here, and changes and how we move forward. It's a motion year, okay? It's really also the 5-year of 2021 is about connecting strongly to Jupiter and Mercury and our free thinking and the way we think and the power of our words and what we show and how we express ourselves. It can either hurt us or help us. So it's really how, I didn't say it in the video before this, which was Capricorns, but I've been saying it in others, in some of the other video. The 5 years about how we balance all of the emotions within ourselves, all of the 5 elements within ourselves, earth, air, fire, water, and the divine within us. So if we want to take it to that high spiritual level, is how we're going to work that. So this Saturn-Uranus square is, you know, it's big, but we've been through 2020, so we can survive it. So I feel, I was joking around earlier, and it's like, yeah, I survived 2020 Christmas sweaters, because I was like, man, every year I want to get like a cheesy Christmas sweater, but I want to get a good one, the one with like the UFO and like the Sasquatch or like something fun. So I'll finally get one year, but I didn't get it last Christmas, the Christmas before, 2019. I didn't get one this year, but I just think that all these new sweaters are going to be, I survived 2020. You know, Merry Christmas, I survived 2020. That's going to be the sweater for this coming year. So we survived it. If we're still here, knock on wood, you know, we survive it. So it's like we can handle this Saturn and Uranus square, this tension, this friction, if we really make sure that we balance the good of the old and bring in more of the new, right? Because I mean, if we were doing things we did 3 eras ago that was really old, no one wants that, right? We've got to move with the times, but still be practical. So, you know, take advantage of your full moons and your new moons this year, especially if it's in your element. And I already told you guys that it's good that you're taking advantage of finding you guys here. You know, the first quarter moon, like I told you before, November 11th, and take advantage of the last quarter moon, May 3rd, okay? Another thing that I mentioned, did I mention? The Saturn retrograde. You know, some of you will be thinking about your career and your growth in your career and who you're working with and why you want to work with this person. You know, who you work with and who you work for. So some of you will have some kind of work issues. And that's usually between May 23rd and October 11th. Then, you know, it's a lot of your self-identity between February 17th and June 14th. When Saturn and Uranus do that squaring up again, and on December 24th. And this type of aspect only happens every 22 and a half years, so it's a big thing when it's rare. You know, it doesn't happen that much. And in 2020, last year, we had a lot of eclipses. And when I saw that, I was like, man, you know, it's like this year is going to have a lot going on because of the buildup of the past year. It's just a lot. You know, 2020 is a lot because of everything that happened even 8 years ago, right? It's just kind of like an energy of things that happened, you know, before. And it's just like this year just shows dirty laundry, everything, right? Yeah. So make sure that you be clear on what you want, okay? That's that Uranus energy coming up. Be clear on what you want and only say what you mean, okay? I put stay. How do I do that? Only so I have to decode what I write because my brain just goes so fast. But only say what you mean and make sure that you're clear on what you want. When you're not clear this year, or you're too concerned about other people's feelings and emotions and I don't want to hurt this person and blah, then you're just going to have a bigger mess. So that's what came through. Your first Mercury retrograde will have old relationship, old issues pop up. So you're going to have to mind what you say. And that 5 of Swords, that 3 of Swords, and that Hierophant is like, you know, what you're saying, you're only saying it to people that you feel you can easily say that to, because you have the upper hand or the power. So it's just being mindful of what you're saying, and make sure that when you're going through your own Mercury retrograde, that you really have proof of your purchase, proof of things that's important to you. Just make sure that you are really aware of that, okay? And just be aware of all the planetary alignments that will be beneficial for you. And I'll be posting those, I'll be tweeting those and putting those up in the videos, because this year I'm really interested, just for myself, in really keeping track and seeing how all of these readings and how everything pans out. So I'm just interested for myself as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please click like, please subscribe, and yeah, you know, leave a comment. Even put your zodiac sign if you're, you know, too shy to comment. Put your, you know, zodiac sign, put a smiley face, put a thumbs up. And I'm wishing you guys all the best this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.